All right, so I've got, it says it's recording. So you guys, this is, like I said, Ashley, we've talked a little bit. I just gave them a brief pointers. You gave me this stuff on your accomplishments with Beachbody, but then I basically told them how we met and that you agreed to so awesomely to do our team call for tonight. So if there's a few more that show up, they'll just have to catch up or watch the recording. So we'll just go ahead and get started. But this is Ashley.
Hey guys. Okay, so I've got some great tips for you guys tonight. But I always like to tell my story beforehand because I feel like it's going to help you kind of relate with me better. And if you have any questions during the call, feel free to use the chat. I'm all about the chat life. So I started Beachbody in 2012. I actually wasn't a coach yet. I wasn't a coach for a whole year. I was overweight. I was miserable. I had gotten with my husband, boyfriend at the time, and I gained all the weight back that I had lost before getting with him because, let's face it, when we get in a relationship, we get very comfortable, and we just gain weight. And he found Turbo Fire through his cousin. He's like, I think you would like this. I was like, all right, well, I'll give it a try. And it sat there, and it collected dust and dust because if you guys know, especially when it comes to our challengers, we can't do it till we're ready to do it. And I wasn't ready to make that switch yet. I was enjoying my fried food at Applebee's and my soda daily. I was a server, so that's like what I lived off of. And I remember getting on the scale. It was New Year's Eve of 2011, so going into 2012. And I got on the scale, and I was 4 pounds away from 200. And that was the first time I got on the scale in a while, so I was probably heavier at some point, but I didn't want to face reality. And I was like, all right, something's got to change, and that's exactly what I did. So January 4th of 2013, I started Turbo Fire, and I went all in. Like, gave up soda, gave up crappy food. I went all in. I bought my Shakeology off eBay. I bought my Turbo Fire off Amazon. I didn't even go through a coach because I just wanted to save money. I was that person. Don't give up on us because we do come around. I lost 40 pounds with my first round of Turbo Fire. I went from a size 18 to a size 10, and I just felt really, really good. My coach was nagging me nonstop, asking me to become a coach. She's like, I don't have time. Like, I'm good. Please leave me alone. Like, no. She asked me 5 times until I finally said yes. I became a coach in January 28th of 2013. And the only reason I became a coach is because she paid my $40 sign-up fee. I didn't even buy a challenge pack. I didn't buy Shakeology. Nothing. She paid for me. So she had no Success Club points. Like, she had enough faith in me that I would do something with this business that she wanted to pay my enrollment fee. So that's exactly what happened. And I ran with it. And I always like to tell people, when I started off as a coach, I was in my senior year of college getting my bachelor's degree in social work. So taking 6 classes. I was commuting 5 days a week, 2 hours round trip. I was working 40 plus hours as a server until 2 o'clock in the morning. I was doing a 20-hour internship, and I was planning a wedding. So I really didn't have time to become a coach, but I'm the type of person, if I'm going to do something, I'm not going to half-ass it. I'm just going to go all in, and that's exactly what I did. That's just my mentality. My husband, boyfriend at the time, was very skeptical about it. A fiance, I guess he was my fiance. And he had faith that if this was something I wanted to do, he was going to trust me and do it with me. I hit Emerald in the first 4 months. I hit Diamond in the first 9 months. I hit Success Club every single month, and I just went out of the gate running and swinging, whatever the correct analogy is. I'm not very good with those, by the way. And things were going great. My paychecks were great. We bought a brand new car because of Beachbody, and then we moved from Ohio to Rochester. My husband got, what's the word I'm looking for? Transferred. That's the word. And my degree is in social work, and I couldn't find a job that suited me, that suited what I wanted to do. And I became a retail manager because that is what I paid $60,000 to go to school for, was to become a retail manager. And I hated it. I was a retail manager for JCPenney's, and I was in a very high-stress job doing the job of 3 people, and it was miserable. And my business fell to the wayside. My fitness fell to the wayside. I didn't have time to work out anymore. I didn't have time. All of my coaches were quitting. I went to barely becoming an Emerald, and I finally went to my coach. I was like, look, I can't do this anymore. Like, this isn't working for me. I don't have time. I'm going to quit. And she told me just to stay put, hang out. I was still using Shakeology. She's like, just give it some time. Let's get through Christmas, and we'll make a decision then. I was like, fine, whatever. January of 2014, I had 1 Success Club point. February of 2014, I ended the month with 87 Success Club points. I decided that enough was enough and that I needed to change what I was doing because what I was doing wasn't working for me. I had surgery in February, and I was bedbound for 2 weeks. And I'm still working at JCPenney's as the manager. And my phone was going nonstop. Like, I couldn't even recover because my phone was going nonstop, and they didn't understand that I couldn't like get better because they wouldn't leave me alone. And I decided that's not what I wanted anymore. I was working every evening, every holiday. The Christmas prior, we literally drove home the day before Christmas, and we drove home Christmas Day because I had to be back at work to deal with all the people that had to do returns. Like, that wasn't what I wanted for my life. So I decided I was all in. I went to Summit for the first time in 2014. And the plan all along, once I dove all into my business, was to quit in fall of 2016. I ended up quitting in September of 2014 from my job and went all in with Beachbody. And it's been a wild ride since then. 2014, we ended as a premier 2-star team. So I went from barely being an emerald to ending the year 11 months later as a 2-star premier coach. So I always like to say that because when you decide to go all in, anything can happen, like anything. My husband and I decided last year, I have really bad time with my dates. I need a timeline for all this stuff. It decided last year, 2015, that we were going to sell our house in New York. He was going to quit his job. We were going to move back to Ohio, and we both do Beachbody full-time. On top of Beachbody, we also have a full-time Etsy business as well. So we do everything side by side, and it's amazing. I am currently a 4-star diamond in my first CBC, a 2-star diamond in my second CBC, emerald in my third CBC. My husband's a 2-star in his, and an emerald in his. So we have 5 altogether. It's madness. It's insane. Easiest way to put it is I'm a 10-star combined diamond. But I don't like to talk about like my credentials and my ranks, because at the end of the day, I really try not to focus on that. I try to focus on just getting to where I need to be to reach my goals and to help people daily. So the thing I want to talk about you guys today with you guys is recruiting. I am a very, very strong recruiter. I average anywhere from 10 to 15 coaches a month. I have about roughly 150 personally sponsored coaches, just personally sponsored, underneath me. So you can take my tips with a grain of salt, and I don't expect you to apply every single one of them. Hopefully you get a nugget out of some of them. Okay, so I have, and my notes are all over the place, but I promise it's good stuff because I wouldn't give you guys info if it wasn't good stuff. So my first tip, and this applies to not just recruiting, but the entire sense of this business, you got to get out of your own head. You really do. We are our biggest obstacles. We are our biggest reasons why we don't hit emerald, why we don't hit diamond, why we don't hit success club, why we don't achieve these goals, because we tell ourselves we're not good enough. We're too afraid to invite. We're too afraid to do sweaty selfies because for some reason we're terrified of those. We're too afraid to do live videos. But we really got to get out of our own head. And until you get out of your own head, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you're not going to move very far in this business. You really aren't. So if you're afraid of inviting and you're afraid of growing, you just got to move past that. So this is what I like to, this is what's going to happen if you don't invite. Let me just put it this way, because a lot of what I'm giving you is on inviting and tips and recruiting. So if you don't invite, guess what? Your coaches aren't going to invite. As sad as it sounds, when I have really bad months, my team notices when I have bad months. And when I have bad months, my team's not adding coaches. They're not hitting Success Club. It's like this little domino effect, and they're watching. So if you're not adding coaches, your own coach is going to be like, all right, well, if she's not adding coaches, then I don't need to be inviting. Like, obviously, it's not a big deal. If you're not inviting daily, you're not doing your vital behaviors. Guys, inviting is the first vital behavior. We're going to go with it's the first vital behavior for the purpose of this call. I know it's one of them. That's all that matters. But honestly, if you're not inviting, you're not doing one of your vital behaviors. The things I always hear from my coaches when they quit, I always do like an exit interview. And I say, why are you quitting? What went wrong? What happened? And they always say to me, well, it wasn't working. I wasn't growing. And I said, well, were you doing the vital behaviors every single day? And I mean all 4 of them every day. Well, no. Well, that's why it didn't work for you, because you weren't doing the vital behaviors. So if you're not inviting, you're not doing your vital behavior. If you're not inviting, your business is going to stop. I hate inviting, guys. I hate inviting, but yet I'm still adding 10 to 15 coaches a month. It never gets fun. It never gets easier, but I just do it anyways because I know I need to, because I know that my business needs to move forward. And also, your why is not going to happen. Guys, and this is going to be my one tip. If you take anything away from this, make sure it's this. You need a strong why. At the end of the day, you need something that gets you out of bed and gets you moving in the right direction. Trust me, there are days that I don't want to show up for my business. There are days that I just want to lay in bed all day and binge watch Parenthood and just drink water all day on my couch and eat dark chocolate. But I got to show up at least an hour a day for my business, because my why is to be financially free and have no debt. And that's why I get up every single day and do this business. So connect to your why. So now, if you're inviting, guys, all of that's going to happen. Your coach is going to follow by example. They're going to see you inviting. They're going to start adding coaches. Your business is going to grow and you're moving in the right direction. Number 2, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Okay, guys, like I said, I hate inviting. I don't enjoy doing it. I am still the person that sends the invite and I run away from my computer. I sent out 4 invites today and they're all sitting in my inbox waiting for me to answer. And I don't even want to look at them yet because they'll probably all say no. And I'm okay with that, but I just don't want to deal with that right now. So I still get that fear and that terror of like inviting, but until you do it, until you don't do it, it's always going to be uncomfortable. So you need to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And I know Beachbody says it a lot, but honestly, the more you invite, the easier it gets. And what I hear a lot of times is, well, I'm not waiting. I'm not going to invite. I'm going to wait for them to come to me. And I like to use this analogy or metaphor, whatever the heck it's called. Listen, this like analogy stuff, not my strong suit. I'm just good at giving tips. If people would reach out when they need it the most, there wouldn't be violence. There wouldn't be depression. People wouldn't be attempting suicide because they would be getting the help they needed. So a little background piece about me. I attempted suicide my freshman year of college. I could have reached out for help, but I didn't because that's not what people do when they're in the trenches. They keep it to themselves. So if you're waiting for people to come to you, they're not going to. And I'm assuming the majority of you didn't come to your coach and be like, hey, I want to become a coach. How do I sign up? Usually not the way it works. Usually people are coming to you to invite you. So think of it that way. People aren't going to come out of the woodworks. You got to go to them. You have to meet them halfway. Number 3, quit caring what everybody else thinks. So a lot of times I hear from people, well, I don't want to post on Facebook because I don't want to annoy my friends. Listen, it is politics season, and I apologize if any of you are really into politics. I hate seeing politics. If I see you post about politics, I'm unfollowing you, and you're not in my newsfeed. I rather see sweaty selfies, burpees, jumping jacks any day of the week than the negativity, the million pictures of cats that are being shared, and Donald Trump any day of the week. If your friends and family don't want to see that, they're going to unfollow you. And that is totally okay. Totally 100% okay. But you got to get out of your head of caring what other people think. And trust me, it's really hard. It's really hard to come up with some rhino skin. But you need to develop it and you need to get tough. Because honestly, what's going to happen is the longer you let people influence the way you work your business, the longer it's going to take you to reach your goals. I always say people's opinions don't pay your bills. They don't. So you got to get out of your head and just don't give a crap what people think. I curse a lot. If you follow me on Facebook, it's on there. And for the longest time, I censored myself. But I was like, why? Like, I'm not being true to who I am. Why? Because I'm afraid I'm going to offend somebody? I don't give a shit. So be yourself. Quit caring what other people think, okay, guys? You really got to quit caring what other people think. I told you my notes are all over the place, but hopefully some good invites. So I'm going to give you guys some tips on ways that I invite. I have 4 main ways that I invite on a weekly basis. So the first one is you guys got to get in the habit of doing this. Post a call to action once a week. So what I mean by this is once a week you should be posting, I'm looking for new coaches. Now hiring. We've all seen them. We've all seen them. If you need some really good ideas for them, Anita Myron has some great ones, and Melanie Mitchell has some great ones, and Amy Silverman. Those are like my top 3, and I usually like pick them apart and make them my own. But you need call to actions once a week. And I promise you, your call to action posts are going to have the least amount of engagement and the least amount of likes. But people are going to start to notice them, and they're going to start to remember you. And that's the whole point of like posting on social media constantly, is when somebody's looking for a coach, you want to be the first person that pops into their head because you're present in their lives. So post a call to action once a week. And this is what I do. I always message those that like my call to action. And I'll just be like, hey, thank you so much for liking my post. If you want some more info, let me know. Obviously, I'm not going to do this to people that are coaches, but people that are my friends or my followers, I always message them that. Because sometimes people are afraid to comment or message you. Number 2, I don't know if Carrie or your higher up lines do this, sneak peeks. We do a sneak peek once a month, and it's like a sneak peek into coaching. Carrie, do you guys do these? The sneak peeks? Yeah, okay. So we do these once a month, and they're golden. They're what I love. My only recommendation is don't depend on the sneak peeks. So for this month, I kind of pissed off my team and I didn't run one because my coaches depend on them to tell people about the business in a sneak peek instead of giving them the info when they want it. So use the sneak peeks. They're amazing, but don't depend on them, if that makes any sense. Number 3 is personally message and invite people. There's been a lot of negativity in some groups that I'm in surrounding Beachbody coaches and the way that they're like, well, they're just messaging you to make a quick sale. So make sure you're authentic and you're genuine about it. I don't message anybody out of the blue anymore that I've never talked to anywhere because I realized like that would offend me if I did that to somebody. So if you've talked to somebody in the past, if they've been in your challenges, I don't care if you just rambled back and forth on comments, message them, invite them, form them. But I would make it a goal to invite 3 to 5 people once a week. Now, if your goals are big goals, like if you're shooting for star diamond by the end of the year, you probably need to up those goals. So do it depending on what your goals are, but personally message them. So I get most of my coaches from my challenge groups. I do my challenge groups a lot differently than a lot of coaches do. So before I became a coach, I saw a top coach in the business running a challenge group, and I was very interested, and I messaged them, and I was told I had to buy X, Y, and Z before they would help me. As a college kid, like I couldn't drop $160 on a challenge pack. So when I became a coach, I said I would never be that coach that required X, Y, and Z. So I have always run free accountability groups like clockwork. September is the first time in the entire time I've been a coach in 3.5 years that I'm not running a free group. So most of my people come from my free groups because I built this trust and this relationship with them over time. So I invite my challengers who are showing up daily, who are cheering other people on, who aren't just showing up for the weigh-ins, but they're showing up on Tuesday through Sunday, posting their meals, posting their selfies. I invite the people that are buying programs for me every single month. I've got one of those. She buys me the new program every time it comes out and buys Shakeology every month. And I'm like, why aren't you a coach yet? And I'm going to invite her every single month until she signs up. And it's quick invites. This is like a sample of my invite. I'll usually say, hey girl, I'm one of those. How are you? You're kicking butt in our challenge group. Have you ever thought about doing what I do because you're already doing what I do? And this is what we do as coaches. We run these accountability groups. Anyways, I think you kick ass. Let me know what you think. Have a great week. That's a simple invite. And people want to know they're going to be good at something. People want to know that you believe in them. 90% of my coaches come from my challenges. Last month I hit Success Club 21. I went through all of my people. Everybody that did not become a coach last month that bought a challenge pack, there was 8 of them. They're all coaches now. They all signed up this month because they believed in the product. They believed in my challenge group. I put my faith into them and we build a trust and relationship, and now they're coaches on my team. And what's going to happen is they're already challengers. They're already doing what coaches do. So even if they're in it for the discount in the beginning, you're already, I don't want to use the word grooming, but you're already forming them into being a business coach because they're being active in your challenge group. So challenge groups are a must. If you are not running a challenge group, guys, you're just going to kill your business. If you are not promoting the health bet for next month, you got to. This health bet is unbelievable. We've never done anything like this as long as I've been a coach. So you need to be promoting the heck out of this. You need to be talking about it to everybody, but you got to be running challenges. You have to be. And a couple other things about the challenge group. I always announce when a coach joins my team that's in my challenge group. Because in my opinion, when you join as a coach, you're taking your fitness to the next level. Like you are super dedicated and you're serious. And I want my other challengers to see that. And it just kind of creates a sense of like, I don't know, or teamship. I don't know. We're going to go with it. In the challenge group, and they see what our team is all about. And also, don't be afraid to post about your sneak peeks in your challenge groups. They're your challenge groups. You can do what you want. I always post about my sneak peeks in my challenge groups. Always, always, always. Okay, some other random tips I have for you guys. I have like 2 more pages of random tips, and then I have like, I guess 5 of my biggest tips. I don't know. They're very all over the place. I'm so sorry. Invite your customers. You all have people that get Shakeology every single month. I have somebody that's gotten Shakeology for me for 3 years now. 3 years. And I like to remind her every single time I message her every month, hey girl, over the last 3 years, you could have had 6 free bags of Shakeology. I just wanted to let you know. But when you're ready, I'm here. And I message her every single month. She's yet to become a coach. And I will not quit messaging her until she becomes a coach. I'm very persistent. Very persistent. So remind your people that are drinking Shakeology every month, hey, are you ready to sign up for the discount yet? I use coach very loosely. That word terrifies the heck out of people. I always remind them, you don't have to do anything with this business, but why not save you some money? In the beginning, when I was a coach, I thought the $33 commission was better than having coaches, and I was completely wrong. One thing I haven't told you guys is I built my entire business on my own. I have no upline support. My upline, I run her team calls. I have no support. So I thought that $32 was better than adding coaches, and I was completely wrong. So if you have that mind frame, let's get out of that, and let's make sure you're inviting them. Because what's going to happen is if you're not letting them know that they can get a discount, they're going to hear it from somebody else, and they're going to join another team. And that's what happened with one of my star diamond coaches. Her coach didn't tell her about the discount for an entire year. And when I told her about the discount, she joined underneath me because I let her know from the beginning, and she didn't feel like I was trying to make money off of her. So make sure you're letting people know about the discount. This is a very good tip. I don't know if you guys use this. Whenever somebody orders a challenge pack, I always send this little spiel, and I will type it up and send it to Carrie as well. So they've decided, okay, they're getting Country Heat, and they're getting Vegan Shakeology, and this is their email. And I only use the Coach Mobile app to set up all orders, coachmobile.teambeachbody.com. That's all I use. And I would say, perfect, let me get the setup for you. Now you have an option. Do you want to be a coach or a customer? They both cost the same. The only difference is next month you're going to get your Shakeology for 25% off, and I can show you how to get that covered. No big deal. Either way, I'm still here for you. 8 out of 10 times when people say, heck yeah, let's sign in for the discount. Like, it costs the same. Why not do it? It's a super easy, effective invite, and it's not scary, and it's letting people know of their choices right away. I send this to every single person. I don't pick and choose who can join my team, who I think is going to make a good coach, who I think is going to want to join. I send it to every single person. Let's see where I'm at. Okay. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about posting, and I think this is important because a lot of times people think recruiting only comes from inviting, and adding new coaches only comes from inviting, but it comes from your post. It comes from social media. I am huge into social media. I could talk to you guys about social media for hours. Like, it's my jam. It's what I love. When I started out, I had 0 followers on Instagram. I didn't have a like page, and I had 400 friends on Facebook. I now have 23,000 followers on Instagram, 16,000 followers on my Facebook like page, and 4,000 friends on Facebook. I love social media. So these are my tips when it comes to social media. First thing is you guys got to attract people in your posts. So what I mean by this is talk to your ideal coach. What happens a lot of times is we're trying to reach for every single customer we can get. When I first became a coach, I was like, I want everybody to join my team. So I was posting to moms. I don't have kids. I don't even understand moms. When one of my girls on my team tells me she doesn't have time because her kid is like busy, and I'm like, I don't get that. Like, I don't understand. But it's because I don't have kids. I don't understand what that life is about. So I don't post towards moms. I post towards dog moms because I'm obsessed with my dog. If you follow me on Snapchat, Stilts is my life. I am a big into DIY. I have PCOS. I have endometriosis, and I am a huge planner girl. Like, I mean, stickers and planners, that is my jam. Guess what? 50% of my coaches are planner people. 50% of my coaches have PCOS. Almost all of my coaches have a dog because that's who I'm posting to. So that's who that's who's being attracted to me. So I'm going to give you guys some call to actions. The first one is I want you guys to make a list of 10 things about you. Fitness and coaching is not one of them. You are not just a Beachbody coach. We are so much more than that. So my 10 things. I'm a planner person. I have endometriosis. I have PCOS. We have infertility issues. We are DIY people. I am a huge dog mom. I love to travel. There could be 3 more, but I don't know what they are off the top of my head. And I want you guys to start making posts about these. So when it comes to social media, you're supposed to post 3 to 5 times a day, but it can't be all fitness related. So like the other day on my like page, I told a story about the stuffed frog. It had nothing to do with fitness, nothing whatsoever. But people want to see that you're more than fitness. People need to see that. So make this list, and I want you guys to start making posts about these things, okay? So that's my first call to action. Number 2, that was my first call to action. And I also want to add this in. Don't exclude somebody just because they don't fit your ideal person. I have moms on my team. It's not like I'm going to be like, oh, you have a kid? Nope, you can't join me. Like, I don't know. I'm good. I'm still going to let them join me, of course. But what you're going to find is the more you post to your ideal audience, the more you're going to attract those type of people. When you're posting, guys, people want to belong. What I made the mistake of early on is my posts were me. I accomplished this. I did this. I'm ranked 100 and whatever. I'm a premier coach. People don't want to belong to somebody that's all about them. There's a song, I think it's by Toby Keith, and it's called like All About Me. And that's all I remember every single time I talk about it, because the song is like me. People want to belong. So what you need to post about, and it comes in hand with the fourth vital behavior of recognition. Congratulate your challengers. Congratulate your coaches publicly on social media. Today, 2 of my girls earned a free trip to Phoenix. I posted about it. Did I get a lot of likes? Nope. But what people are going to see is that it's just not me. It's this team. It's my family. Like, that's what this is about. When I found out we were ranked 230 in the company last month, I posted that our team is ranked 230. I'm not. It's my team. I'm not premier. My team's premier. So you really want to make sure that you're letting people know that they belong. Talk about the free trips. Talk about Punta Cana. Talk about trips that you earn with your team. Talk about the free prize of the Success Club. Did anybody get the canister in Shakeology last month? Anybody? Yeah. Talk about that. People want to see that. I mean, who gets free stuff at their job for helping people? I never got that crap at JCPenney's. I just got yelled at if I did something like good most of the time. So talk about that. People want to belong, okay, guys? People want to belong to the friendships. They want to belong to something. And that was a big thing for me with Beachbody. I didn't have friends growing up. I ate lunch every single day in my teacher's classroom because I had no friends. Like, I'm not kidding. I really did it. And now I belong, and this is my family. So that's what people want to know about. And then the other thing is talk about your rank and talk about your title, and don't be afraid to talk about your income. Obviously, don't do it in a salesy, like sleazy way. Like, we've seen those posts. Like, you know what I'm talking about. I'm like, all right. Talk about how Beachbody's paid off debt. My biggest thing is we just bought a house, like 4 houses down. See that little light right there? It's probably my house right there. And that was a really big thing because I don't know if you guys know, buying a house when you're self-employed is not an easy task. So that house symbolizes so much for my husband and I. So I'm going to talk about that. So don't be afraid to talk about that. All right, guys, I have just a little bit more for you, and then I promise I will be done. So I'm going to give you guys 6 posting tips, and then I have 8 random tips. So my 6 posting tips, I'm going to go really quickly down them because they're pretty easy to understand. First one is be enthusiastic. Guys, I'm begging you. Don't complain on social media. Now, this goes hand in hand with number 2 because number 2 is be authentic. Yes, you need to be authentic, but you can't be complaining on social media all the time. I have a coach who writes on social media every single day. I can't even talk to her because she just brings me down. The thing is, when you become a coach, everybody's going to be looking at everything that you do. So if you're complaining, people aren't going to really want to come to you because they're like, well, she's supposed to be positive, but she's complaining about this. So try to be mindful of what you watch. But obviously, turn those bad days into something positive. I had the most shittiest day last week. And you better believe I talked about it on social media. Like, my ants are, invading my house. We had to pull out all of our flower beds. It was bad. And I posted them on social media because I wanted them to know that I was human. But at the end, I was like, you know what? Tomorrow's a new day, and it'll be good. So be authentic and be enthusiastic. Number 3, talk about the business, guys. So I already told you guys to post a direct call to action once a week. Indirectly talk about the business in your post. So I talked about taking my dog to the dog park on Monday, which is a huge thing if you know my dog. Huge thing. And I said, if I was working, we wouldn't have been able to take Stilts to the dog park at 10 o'clock in the morning. So I subtly put that into my post, but I'm still talking about coaching, but not in a direct way. Number 3, post about objections. So I hear a lot from my team. Well, they're complaining about the price. I don't get money objections because I post about money objections. So if you get the objection that I can't be a coach because I'm not fit enough, post about that. If you get the objection, I don't have time, post about that. The biggest 2 objections people get when it comes to coaching is money and time. The objections that I never get is money and time because I talk about those all the time. So the more, so for an example, if somebody is saying that they don't have money, I love live, and I came on the other day, and the title of my live was, so you'll eat McDonald's, you won't research McDonald's, but you'll research healthy food, and you'll gripe about it. So in my live video, I talked about how people aren't willing to upfront money for Shakeology, but yet they'll pay $4.33 a day for Starbucks. And I added that up on my live video. I'm like, so you're paying over $150 a month for coffee. So I talk about those objections. When people tell me they don't have time, I like to remind them that I started this business at the worst time possible. I also like to remind them that I have a full-time Etsy business that takes up a lot of my time and my husband's time, but we still manage to make this business work. So post about those objections that you get the most, and I promise you, you will get them less and less. Number 5 is consistency. My team, I say this on every single phone call. They swear I have it like tattooed somewhere on my body. Consistency. I don't care. This can sound really mean, but take it with all the love in the world. I don't care if you're on vacation. You need to be on social media. It broke my heart when I was on the cruise, and I don't know if this was Carrie, so Carrie, if this was you, don't listen to this part. But they're like, oh, I'm not going to get Wi-Fi because I want to disconnect. I'm like, dude, you're running a business. You don't disconnect for 5 days. I don't care if you're in the middle of the ocean. Carrie's like, ooh. I don't care if you're in the middle of the ocean. I don't care if you're in Egypt or if you're on vacation at a silent retreat. You got to be consistent on social media. Taking time off, it's going to hinder your business as bad as it sounds. And the way Facebook works is going to be like, oh, you disappeared for 5 days. We're not going to show her post anymore. And they get buried to the bottom. So make sure you're consistent, guys. If it's 9 o'clock at night and you haven't made a post, come up with something funny. Just put up a meme. Put up like a fitness meme. Just make sure you're posting. Carrie, I love you. It's okay. I almost didn't get it. The only reason I got it was because we qualified. Number 6 is talk about success. Talk about summits. Talk about the parties. Talk about the trips. Talk about ranks, guys. It's okay to talk about that. I'm adding a new one since I did this call last time for another team. Go live. I am giving you guys another call to action. If we are not friends on Facebook, first off, add me as a friend, Ashley Odenweller. I have 2 pages. Make sure you actually add me as a friend. 2, you're going to go live by next Monday. You are going to go live. I don't care if it scares the bejesus out of you. I don't care if you talk about your cat, your dog, a stuffed animal, the moon. I don't care what you talk about. You're going to go live for a minimum of 2 minutes. I don't care if nobody's watching you. Live video is where it's at right now. Live video is going to get you the most engagement. You're going to go live, and you're going to tag me after you're going live in the post. And I will write down everybody that's on this call, and I will find out from Carrie if somebody did not tag me in it. I'm telling you guys, my team hates me. They love me, but they hate me. I go live every single day. I share our workout every single day, and I do topics that people don't want to talk about. I went live a couple last week, maybe, or 2 weeks ago, and I talked about our infertility. My video got shared like 30 times and was watched by like 10,000 people. People want to see that. They want to see you in the raw and in the real. Don't do your hair. Don't do your makeup. Just do a live video, raw and authentic as you. Do about something you're passionate about. One of the 10 things I told you about. Okay, now that I've drummed that into it. So I've got 8 random tips for you guys, and then I will open up the questions. So the first one is pick 2 forms of social media, guys. 2 forms. Facebook is not enough. Instagram, YouTubing, blogging. I don't know what other forms of social media there is. I do Instagram and I do Facebook, and Snapchat is my jam. I'm obsessed with Snapchat. Pick 2 forms and be on them. Number 2, clean up your social media. It was fun. I mean, when I started as a coach, I was still in college. That was a lot of photos to clean up. I'm not saying it wasn't pretty. But we all had it. I had somebody that liked my photo today from 2 years ago. Like, are you stalking me? But people do that. People do that. We've been on Instagram and you're like, oh, so-and-so liked your picture from 126 weeks ago. You're like, okay, cool. So clean up your social media. People are going to go watch. Number 3, guys, have a good cover photo and have a good profile picture, okay? I have invested money into social media training, and the first thing people are going to see are cover photos the minute they come to your page, and they're going to see your profile picture. Your kid, your cat, your dog, your husband's in your profile picture, get rid of them. We love them. They're amazing, but people want to see your face, so make sure it's the first thing that they see. Guys, track your business. Okay, where's my little tracker? Show of hands, how many of you guys know what this is? Okay, so for everybody not raising their hand, this is the business activity tracker. You need to start using this. Every coach should be using this. Karen's like, I knew what that was, dang it. Everybody needs to use this. Guys, these are my business activity trackers. And I had a coach tell me one time, well, you don't need to do that. You have 10 diamonds. I don't care if I have 10 diamonds. I don't care if I have 40 diamonds. I got to track my business. You guys need to get in the habit of doing this, because what's going to happen, see, now it's really hot in this office. Now what's going to happen is at the end of the week, you'll be like, man, I didn't have a good paycheck, or this wasn't a good week. So what's going to happen is I'm going to go back and be like, well, I only did personal development twice that week. That's probably why I had a really crummy week. Or I only added 20 people to my network out of 7 days of the week. This isn't the Coach Online office, guys. Get in the habit of doing this every single week. These are like scribbles. I have like 20 weeks worth, and I know who to go back and follow up with. Track your business. Number 5, guys, don't give up. This business is hard. It is really, really, really hard. I could have left a long time ago. I could have quit for 6 months and joined another team where I would have got more volume and I would have got more help and more people would have been added underneath me. But at the end of the day, I want to build something that I'm proud of. So I'm going to stick it out, and I'm going to be here. I've seen a lot of coaches jump and ship for Lula-Roe, whatever it is, because they make more money quicker, or it's going to get them retirement faster. I'm in this for the long haul, and I'm not going to give up, and I'm going to keep going. I said no for an entire year, guys. An entire year. I just had somebody that bought a challenge book. She told me no for the last 3.5 years. She is griped about I don't eat veggies to I don't like Shakeology, even though I've never tried it. And she just signed up as a challenger because she finally had faith in me. My top coach said no for 2 years. So don't give up. Don't give up at the last day of the month. What is today's date? The 25th? 25th. If you're at Success Club 0 and you're like, I'm just going to wait till next month, that's not the right attitude. Just dive in and do it. There's still so much time left of this month. It's hard. I promise it's going to be hard. And there's days you're going to want to quit, but you got to push through because it's going to get you through the other side. It's going to help you get your goals. And it kind of goes in with number 6. Don't get discouraged. A lot of times my coaches come in like, well, I was really discouraged, so I took 2 months off. I'm like, great, well, you're going to be really discouraged next month because your business is going to hit a standpoint because you didn't build relationships for the last 2 months. Even at the moments we get discouraged, we have to push through. So for an example, I am so close to 5-star done. So close. Like I can taste it. I can see it on the horizon. I just need one person to become emerald, but I can't control it. Is it discouraging? Yes, it is, because I didn't qualify for a trip for the 3rd year in a row, and it's really, really hard. I can either let that stop me from moving forward, or I can let that push me to make sure I'm on that trip next year and I hit these goals. So even when it gets hard, make sure you're showing up. As hard it is, make sure you're showing up. And the last 2 are probably going to be my 2 biggest tips for you guys. So number 7 is remember this is a gift, guys. Beachbody coaching, I don't know what it's done for you to change your life, but it's brought my husband home from the corporate world. It's brought me home from the corporate world. I've lost 50 pounds. We've been able to buy our dream home. We paid off debt. And I'm home every single day with my dog because that's my biggest dream in life. But no, like this was a gift. So when we're not inviting people, we're holding somebody else's dream, somebody else's story hostage because we're too scared. If my coach wouldn't have invited me, I don't know where I would be. I would probably still be in New York, working every holiday, working with a bunch of teeny boppers. And I don't know how my marriage would be because I never saw my husband. But I'm thankful that my coach did invite me because this changed my life. So quit being afraid to invite because you're holding somebody else's story hostage. And number 8, guys, don't be picky. We are not Melanie Mitro. We are not Lindsay Matway. We are not Amy Silverman. We cannot pick and choose who becomes a coach. And it ties into my last tip so much. A lot of times I hear, well, I didn't invite so-and-so because I didn't think she would make a good coach. You have no idea who's going to be the next Melanie Mitro, the next Amy Silverman. You have no idea whose life this can change. So you got to quit being picky, and you got to quit letting that fear stop you. All right, that's all I got. I like to end with the bam in your face, let me punch you in the gut type of feelings. That's who I am. I know that's a lot of info, and I hope that it helps because it's very all over the place. But honestly, I don't recruit because I'm saying now hiring every single day. I don't recruit because I am adding 50 people to my network. I don't recruit because I'm paying in Facebook ads to blow it out there. I'm recruiting because I'm sincerely wanting to change lives. I'm running challenge groups every single month. I'm adding to my network and I'm showing up daily. And that's how I recruit. That's how I had 15 coaches a month. That's how I've hit Success Club, whatever, for the last 31 months in a row. So that's why like these tips are all over the place. But honestly, this is what's worked for me. And it's what's worked for a lot of coaches. So I hope you guys got something out of this because I know that was very all over the place. So if you guys have any questions, I would love to answer any or whatever.
Both my, Mitchie and Jennifer are both my coaches. Karen's an accountability partner that I have. Both Jennifer and Mitchie are fairly new to the game. Mitchie is Emerald. Jennifer has one coach, and so she's halfway there. I do know Jennifer doesn't have a problem going live. Jennifer does like live videos.
Yes, I love it.
She does hers very well. She also was not shy and got Country Heat certified during Summit.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, she's just like went all in. And Mitchie's done other MLMs before, so she's got quite the history with this. So I'm super excited for both of them. Yeah, so I don't know if they have any questions yet, but you guys unmute yourself, please, and ask away, because I told you guys she was amazing.
My biggest thing always, and I think I'm a broken record, but my biggest thing is wrapping my head around my schedule and making time for myself. So, I mean, it's all about that. So. And
it's hard. I was talking to my corporate person the other day because this has been a very tough month for me, like emotionally and with my business. Mm-hmm. And I told him, I think what happens is sometimes as coaches we get wrapped up in, and I'm to blame for this, we get wrapped up in rank, success club, doing our challenges, and we forget about ourselves. And it wasn't until like the last 2 months of my business has really like boomed. It's because I worked out every single day and I was actually taking care of myself. And at the end of the day, if we're not taking care of ourselves, if we're not working out, then we can't really help other people. Like, and it's hard. Trust me. I understand. Like people sometimes like you work from home. You don't understand. I'm like, trust me. I used to work 60 plus hours a week. I completely understand how it gets. So take time for yourself, even if it's like not, if you're getting in your workouts, that's awesome. But if you're not getting in your personal development or you're just not getting time in for yourself, take 15, 20 minutes a day. There are weekends where I'm like, peace out, Beachbody. I'll see you on Monday. My coaches are like, where'd you disappear for the weekend? I was like, I took time for myself because I need it. So don't be afraid to do that because sometimes we get so wrapped up in the business side of things that we forget about ourselves, and we really got to take care of ourselves. We really do. Not that you asked for any of my input on that.
That's okay.
Yeah, she's a nurse, so her schedule isn't even consistent. So her, I
believe it.
Very different. So that's one of the struggles that she's had. So Mitchie, do you have anything, babe? I can't believe you're not talking.
I just got to get out of my own head.
It's hard, isn't it? It's really hard. So tell me, like, what's holding you back? Like, what fears? Is it like with it inviting, posting? Like, what is it that's keeping you back?
You just said it. A through Z. Yeah.
So start small. So right now, and be 100% honest with you, right now, on average a week, how many people are you inviting? Okay, so what I want you to do, and I'm not going to be like, all right, you need to message 5 people every day for the next week. Start small. So set a goal. Our Beachbody week always starts on Thursdays. So set a goal from today until next Wednesday. You're going to talk to 2 people. 2 people. That's easy. 2 people about Beachbody, about the health bet, just in general to start a relationship with them. You don't have to dive into the inviting, but start those conversations. It's hard. It really is. But the sooner you dive into it, the easier it's going to get. You know what I mean? It really will get easier. Have you talked about the health bet?
No. Well, okay. Tonight I did.
So that would be another thing I recommend. Do a video about it. Do a live video about it.
Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. That'll happen.
Just do a post, send it to Carrie, have her look at it, and then just post it and run, or just send a conversation and run. It's hard. It really is. I'm a chronic people pleaser. I'm probably the worst people pleaser you will ever meet. But the sooner you get over that, the easier it's going to get. I know. That's like the best advice.
How do you run from a post? I'm like creeping on it. How many people have looked? And I refresh and I refresh. And I'm like, what? I haven't got any comments or any you know,
No, I don't pay attention to any of
On
that.
my live videos, if I see somebody pop up, I'm like, who is that? I'll be in the middle of working out. I'm like, who showed up? Who showed up?
I used to be that way, and I think it was, I don't know who said it, but we get wrapped up in how many people are liking things and how many people are commenting that we forget about the people that aren't liking, the people that aren't commenting. I had an email the other day, or yesterday from someone just like, I've never commented, but I've been watching you for the last 2 years, and now I'm interested. I'm like, and yet you never commented on a single thing. So don't worry about the likes of the people. And if you do live videos, do not pay attention to the people that it says that is watching live. Because on my live videos, I maybe have like 60 to 80 people live, but I get to 1,000 views by the end of the day because people are watching at the end. So that's my tip of advice for live video. Like today, no one was on live at first. And then I was like, oh, hey, there's people. And usually people are like, oh, no one's on, I'm jumping off. You got to stay on because it's the people that rewatch it. Those are the people that matter.
I've even gotten the nickname Country Heat at the hospital, so hopefully that's a good thing.
I love it. I couldn't get into Country Heat. I'm jealous.
Well, I'm the dancer, so there you go.
I just get really, really angry at Autumn, so it's like, nope.
Is it weird that the people that I have on my team or have in my challenge groups and stuff, they've all contacted me. Like, I really haven't reached out to people.
And you'll have that sometimes. I mean, it changes per person. I have a lot of people that reach out to me, but I also have a very high presence on social media, so it's easier for me. But you'll have that. And do you post a lot?
Well, at least once or twice a day.
So people are watching that and people are paying attention, and that's a good thing. So imagine the amount of people you could reach if you were reaching out to people, though. That's like something I was thinking about, and that was like a turning point for me. So for a long time, I'm going to admit it, I didn't invite because I didn't need to invite because people were coming to me. And my corporate guy, he's like, imagine what would happen if you did invite. Like, imagine. I was like, oh, that's such a neat concept. Why didn't I ever think of that? And then I went from adding 5 coaches a month to 15 a month. And I went from hitting Success Club 10 to hitting Success Club 25 a month because I wasn't waiting for just people. Now I was reaching out to them. So you're going to have that. And that's an awesome thing. That means you have a great following and great people. But just keep in the back of your mind how many more people that you can reach.
But it's like they want free advice. They don't want to invest.
And you're going to have that. And I'm probably one of the few coaches that will say, put your love into them. Like, build that foundation with them.
I do, and that's where I spend my time.
But that's okay. But what I would try to do is cut that in half and make sure you're also working with people that do want to invest. It was really hard for me when I said my free challenge group just came to an end. They're like, well, when's the next free one? I said, there is not a free one this month. If you want to be with me for the next 30 days, it's time for you to invest in yourself and invest in me. And that was really, really hard for me to do. I was amazed at the amount of people that actually did buy something because they're like, oh, okay. But I have people that have been in my free group for 3.5 years now, and I'm still going to love on them, even though they drive the bejesus out of me, trying to find the cheapest thing that they can do. But they're going to come around eventually. So keep loving up on them. But don't be afraid to finally say to them, okay, enough's enough. Like, it's time for you to invest in yourself. And that's something that I'm really good at saying to people. I'm like, I always tell them, like, I could care less if they buy something from me, but at the end of the day, they're not going to reach their goals until they actually invest in something. Walking isn't going to help you lose the weight. Eating veggies every day isn't just going to do it. Like, you've got to do a program. You've got to do Shakeology. You've got to follow a meal plan. And I'm very blunt, if you guys can't tell. And I'm not afraid to tell my people that at all and call them on their BS. And I have a feeling you're very similar. I have a feeling you are.
I can be.
It took a long time for my inner bluntness to come out, and now I just don't. Somebody had like, so my challenge groups, we have like a weekly weigh, and someone's like, I have my period, I gained 5 pounds. I'm like, no, that's a bullshit. You ate like crap and you didn't drink water. And they're like, well, yeah. I'm like, yeah, so don't blame that for gaining weight. Like, I'm bad. But it works. So
Karen, babe, you got anything? You've been muted and you're quiet too. Nothing? Oh, there you are.
No, I don't have anything. I'm just soaking it all in.
I know it's a lot of info, so hopefully you guys get something out of it. And like I said, if you have any questions afterwards and just something pops, don't hesitate to message me. I may take forever to reply back to you, but I will reply back to you.
Anybody else? Anybody? Mitchie, you got your kid. Go ahead.
What do you do in the free groups? Like, I've never ran a free group.
So I run them just like any ordinary challenge group. So for my free groups, I say free groups because I don't require a purchase, but I do require they have a game plan. So if they come in and like, I want to join your group, I always say, perfect, awesome. Let's talk about your goals and what's your game plan. And so they're like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, are you going to the gym? Are you working out from home? Do you have a fitness program? Like, what are you doing? 9 out of 10 times, they either have a fitness program or they're going to the gym. I had people like, well, I don't have anything, so I'm just going to walk. I'm like, no, that doesn't work. You can't join my group and just walk. Like, so you either need to get a gym membership, which I don't try to suggest. You need to buy a DVD program, or you need to find something. So what happens is I do have people in my challenges that have bought challenge packs and have bought programs because I do require a game plan, and then I just run them like I would a normal challenge group. I do weekly weigh-ins every single Monday. I do post every single day, and I post in there every single day as if I was a challenger. And I only do them for 30 days. Sometimes I do 60. It's very rare. I do them for 30 days. And at the end of the 30 days, then I start a brand new one. That way more people can join me, and if they want to follow, they can follow. But again, I say, all right, let's come up with a game plan. What are your goals? How are you going to achieve these goals? What are you going to do to make them happen? And for the longest time, I just let anybody join. I was like, all right, you can join. But what was happening is they didn't have a plan. They weren't doing anything, so they weren't really getting results. So that really wasn't working, because what's the point of being in my group for 30 days if nothing happens out of it? So that's what I do. I require there's a game plan. You have to come up with concrete goals. And my other thing is they can't be working with another coach. That is a really big thing for me, because I've been burned one too many times. I get a lot of people, well, my coach doesn't run challenges. Well, you either need to go to them or something needs to change, because I can't invest my time in those that are working with another coach. And it's just a rule that I've had from the very beginning.
How do you know what to post, though? Like if you do the 21 Days Challenge group, you know, there's
in the Coach Online office, there's actually a multi thing. And I just take out, I still post about Shakeology, and I put the program. My number one rule is, and I'm going to add this in real quick, is I let them know from the beginning, if you post about any program or try to advertise anything that is not Beachbody, you get one strike. After that, you're kicked out of my groups and you're never allowed back in. So I don't care if people are drinking Herbalife or using Spark or using whatever, but they just have to say, I had my shake today, or I had my pre-workout today. Like, they can't advertise something else. That's my number one rule. So I use, back to your question, I use that program in the Coach Online office. I do post about Shakeology, and that's literally what I use, and I just Hootsuite those. I try to come up with my own. Sometimes I'll do fit tips. I'll do, like, meal ideas. Like, I try to come up with different things. Carrie, remind me, I will send you, I have a document that I actually made for all of my challenge groups. I just, like, Hootsuite all of them. Carrie, remind me, and I'll send it to you. That way you guys can have that for your team. I just run it like any other challenge group. For me, and I don't want to offend anybody, but when I say no, I won't help you because you won't buy a program, like, it just comes off bad. And I think it's because I started with an Amazon burned copy and got my Shakeology on eBay. So that was like a big thing for me when I first became a coach, and that's how I've trained my team, and it's what's worked for me.
With me on the challenge groups, I've tried to start a couple. I've not had anybody sign up for them, but I know a lot of it's because of the fact that I'm really not inviting like I should be. Again, trying to figure out the whole scheduling thing and getting everything in my day in. But when you don't have somebody that actually signs up, have you ever had that issue where you don't have somebody that actually signs up for your challenge group, like at the beginning or what have you?
So for me, I'm going to be honest, I don't. So the first time I advertised my challenge group, I was like terrified. I was like, I'm at 5 people, and I was like, I'm only accepting 10, and I had like 40. So I have big challenge groups, like 60 to 70 people in mine. What I recommend for those that do have smaller ones or have a hard time getting people, team up with somebody in your team. within your downline, another coach is on the same team as you. So I usually always tell my new coaches, team up and post on the team page, hey, I want to run a challenge group with 3 to 4 other people. So what's going to happen is you're going to have bigger numbers in your challenge group. And what I have found is the bigger your challenge groups are, the more interaction you're going to get. Because when you have 5 to 10 people, it gets quiet very quickly, and people start to notice and it dies off. So team up with other people. Try running like a free, my biggest group today is I ran a free 5-day water challenge, and I had 430 something people in that group. What happens is, you have a whole new people into your network, and then I was able to advertise about my next challenge group coming up, and those people joined that challenge, and they invited their friends. So start with maybe something like a free 5-day water challenge, 5-day crock pot eating, falls around the corner, hopefully, fingers crossed it's coming. And that's really can build momentum, and then ask people to invite people. When you offer something like a free 5-day group, it gives people something that they want, and it gives them something they don't have to invest in and necessarily do much for, but it gives them a little sneak peek into you, and it kind of starts to build that trust. So when I run my free groups, I need to run a new one, I haven't done it in a while, I always say, hey, can you invite a friend or two? So what happens is they have to be added into the group I need, but now I can add 2 new people to my network. So now I have 2 new people that I can introduce Beachbody to at some point in time. So maybe start there and maybe team up with somebody to run a 5-day group, because those, honestly, I feel like that's going to have the biggest impact, especially if you haven't had successful challenge groups right away.
I ran both the challenge app and on Facebook, and I personally didn't care for the challenge app.
I hate the app. I hate it.
But they're really wanting us to go towards the app,
I know.
especially with the health bet.
Yeah, I have a hard time with it. I was very reluctant, so I was one of the first people to test it when it came out, and I was like, yeah, I'm jumping ship, and I closed that thing down in 2 days. And I don't like it, only because I feel we're on Facebook, let's face it. How many of us are scrolling Facebook like all the time? So what happens is when people download an app, they turn off the push notifications, so then they never check in. So I don't use I don't use the app. I only use it for the health bet, and that's the only time I'm going to use it. I have to go right back to Facebook, because Facebook's where it's at for me.
Okay. I agree.
Don't tell them I said that.
I'm pretty sure you probably did, because you probably had to give them feedback after that app test.
I know that they mean the best out of it, but it's just people turn off their push notifications and then they disappear. But when there's $1.5 million on the line, they're going to show up. But after that, I'm going back to Facebook.
All right, ladies, you guys have anything else? We've kidnapped her for an hour.
I don't mind at all. I love it. I love doing team calls, and especially for Carrie. Carrie stole my heart on the cruise, and she better be on the teal wave for the Success Club trip. I'm just saying.
On the what?
Teal wave. Teal.
Oh, I don't know what I signed. Oh, well, I didn't sign up because I'm on the wave.
There's less kids on the teal wave. Less kids are going to be on the teal wave.
Okay, I'm writing it down. I'm getting on the teal wave.
Because no one's going to take their kids out of school from a Sunday through a Thursday. I'm just saying.
Well, I will.
Yeah, if you guys think of anything else, please don't hesitate to message me. Like, I'm a very open door, and I don't mind at all. Like, this is what I love. I love helping other coaches, so please don't hesitate to message me.
If you guys have Snapchat, you have to add her. I mean, her clothing stuff in itself, she reviews all of the clothes that she wears before she works out. That alone is worth her Snapchat. Let alone her walks with stilts, because she videos him running. I mean, literally. It's hilarious. I love it.
He's my baby. He's my baby.
Yes. All right, ladies, but if you don't have anything else, we'll let her go. I need to go eat dinner.
All right, good night, guys.
All right, thank you.
Ashley.
Bye.
Bye.